Kev's Hobby Showcase. I'm, of course, Kevin. You may have also seen me on Tabletop Jones Productions, where John and I are the two idiots playing board games. And today, well, it's the third week of the month. Sorry about that. And it's time for my cooking video. And being that we are in the month of December, and right before Christmas, I decided, like I think I mentioned this after the last one last month, I decided to make cookies. It's basically just going to be simple, basically just chocolate chip cookies. Nothing fancy, nothing simple. And I looked on the internet for a good recipe, and I found one. I won't say what it is because I don't want to be, I don't want to be held up by any copyright infringements. Possibly, I just don't want to deal with that. So I'm just gonna say it's a good one. And so I got a step-by-step instructions on how to do it, and that's what I'm going to do. So first step, which I've already started, is preheat the oven to 375 degrees. That is going on right now. And when it is ready to go, I'll move on to the kitchen, and we'll start. All right. So I'll have out all my ingredients, and be ready to go. So stay tuned. I will be right back. Here I'm in the kitchen. The oven is now pretty much heated up, but I got to start mixing all the ingredients together before I could even use the oven. So let's just get to it. All right. So sorry about that. I got my work area here. Well, as you can see, it's a bit crowded, but I got everything here on the table. On the counter. And I have my nice trusty tablet up here is where I have the recipe. So first step was to preheat the oven. Next, combine flour, baking soda, and salt in a small bowl. So this is the smaller bowl I have. I have a larger one here. But I like these because it's got nice little spouts. So this way when I have to pour stuff into something else, it actually goes instead of just runs along the side of the bowl. So flour. So what do I need with flour? I need 2 1/4 cup of flour. So actually let me use 1 cup first. Now forgive me if anything runneth over. Alright, so oops. As you can see, today might be a bit messy. So that's one. I might have to rinse out these cups as I use them. So bear with me as I do all my little stuff off camera. And so I've got 1 cup in there already. Let's get the next 1 1/4 cups. And yep, that's it. Okay, now. Oops. Okay. Flour, baking soda. Baking soda, I need 1 teaspoon. That's easy enough, isn't it? 1 teaspoon. And salt. Salt, I think, is the only ingredient I forgot to take out. And I shake it up because the salt does tend to clump. So it is 1 teaspoon of salt. So let's just... Okay. Some ingredients I'll put out of sight if I don't need them anymore. Actually, I don't need this anymore either. Okay. Let's put that aside. Okay, let's get back to the other one. Alright. Well, that is now combined in the small bowl. So next, it says, beat butter, granular sugar, brown sugar, and vanilla extract in a larger mixer bowl until creamy. And one thing I realized I forgot to do was take out my mixer. So let me do that now. Now I got a hand mixer. And it's just lucky I didn't lose it in the divorce. Because at the time my wife was baking quite a bit. Well, ex-wife, I'm sorry. Let me say it the way it is. Okay, so let me just get this plugged in. Like I said before, bear with me. Okay, now, again, what do I need? Butter. So butter. So it said 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks, and it says softened. So I basically have left these out for a while. So 2 sticks of butter is 1 cup of butter. And let's just drop them in. Okay. That's 1. And come on. And that's 2. Okay. 2 sticks of butter to make 1 cup. Okay. Granular sugar. So let me refresh my memory on how much of that I need. 3/4 cup. Now, so 3/4 cup of this granular sugar. Let me tell you something. I bought this sugar last week. It was solid. I had to pretty much beat the hell out of the top of it to get it to soften up a bit. So, alright. Let me see if a little bit more. You know what? Just a touch more. Alright. Yeah, sorry I have to use my hands here, but I was the one foolish enough to wash this and think that hand drying it was enough. Alright, now, brown sugar. It's 3/4 cup, and it says packed. Now I learned a while back what that means is basically you have to smush it down and make it pretty darn solid in the measuring cup. Unfortunately, my bag has a hole in the bottom. So I'll use a teaspoon instead of my hands this time to mush it down. And we're... Oh wow! Look at that. I'm at a 3/4 cup. Okay. And I believe the other thing it said was vanilla extract. Brown sugar and vanilla extract. And I think the vanilla extract, it's also a teaspoon. Let me see. Vanilla extract. 1 teaspoon. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Alright, so what am I doing? I'm beating it. Okay. Now, I have to say, you can hear me over this. I tried making cookies last year, but I didn't have a step-by-step process. So I've just put all the ingredients in together. And, well, let's just say my kids bailed me out. They're the ones that finally got it to mix up. It says do it now. It says do this until creamy. This may take a little while. Whoops. So, I don't know if you can see it. It's starting to get a little creamy. think I got it. I'm not entirely certain. Let me get this off of here. Trying to get it all out of the mixers here. Alright. Okay. Oh, add eggs one at a time. Alright, so give me a second, I'll get my eggs. Okay, just grab my eggs. It's probably one, hopefully it's the only ingredient I forgot. So I still got to use the mixer, but it says here, add eggs one at a time, beating well after each addition. So let's get the first one in. There we go. Alright, there's one. And it is very creamy in this thing right now, in this bowl. Alright. Alright, so there's one. Let's get the other one in. And I'm always careful not to have the eggshells fall in. As you see here, this is the consistency I'm getting. And we still have other ingredients to add in. So while I'm doing this, let me read further. It says gradually beat in the flour mixture. So let's, I'm going to stop this every time because I don't want to just let it sit here while it's running because that's just going to make a mess. Alright, so put it a little bit at a time. And I'm also trying to get up on the sides to make sure that nothing really is left behind. So let me add in a little bit more. All right. All right. All right. Now, could I have just poured the whole thing in and done this? Probably, but I am following what the recipe says. Now I'm just going to let the rest of it go in. Alright. Alright, so now after this, of course, is the chocolate chips. Alright, so let me stop that for now. And let me get rid of the eggshells. Okay, hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm not... do I need milk at all? Son of a gun. I did not. Well, I faked myself out yesterday. I was going to do these yesterday and I didn't think I had enough milk. Turns out I didn't need any. Okay, well. So it's saying for the morsels, now I have some from previous times that I bought them, but it needs 2 cups. Now, but this recipe also calls for chopped nuts, which I am not adding. So it said if it wasn't adding chopped nuts to add it, it's just like a ways to compensate for it. But what I'm going to do to compensate is maybe add, oh shit. Well, I'm going to add in extra chocolate chips. Wow, I really made a mess here. Okay, well, so you know what? Let me take a break, clean up this mess, and then I'm going to add the chocolate morsels. Just give me a sec. Okay, cleaned up that mess. Nice. It does say to stir in the chocolate morsels, so I put the beater aside. I cleaned I cleaned it off. Now, for those of you who have kids who like to eat cookie dough, this is a good way to give them a little treat. You know, say, hey, you want to have some of this? So anyway, let me go. I'm gonna pour this in. It's just over 2 cups of chocolate chips. I'm gonna stir it in. Now, I'm not sure why it said stir instead of using the mixer. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I just don't know it. And it's actually mixing up pretty darn good. All right. Okay. And see, I from time to time like to make chocolate chip pancakes, especially when my kids are here. And I use the mixer to mix them up, but I guess for this, it's better to just do it this way. Now, it's all mixed in. So let's see, this is dropped by a rounded tablespoon onto ungreased baking sheets. Okay, so let me take out my baking sheets. I'll get them set up, and I'll be right back. All right, so give me a few seconds. I'm back, and one thing I forgot to take out was the tablespoon. So, I got a baking sheet out, because I'm not gonna bore you with me placing all of it, so just keep it reasonable distance. But not too, and I'm trying not to put too much cookie dough on it, because like I said, I have made chocolate chip cookies in the past, and they always, well, let's just say they spread out. That's one thing I learned about them. I might have more cookie dough than I thought I did. Trying to keep all the bits together here. Okay, so pretty much, you know, this is what I'm going to be doing with a couple other baking trays, and then I'm going to be putting it in this oven. And as I've said before, you know, I'm not going to show you that because, quite frankly, the door to my oven is falling apart. It is a bit of a struggle to get it open, and well, I just don't want to show that. And until I have the financial ability to change that, it's not going to change. Alright, so, excuse me. Alright, so, I'm going to fill out some more bacon trays, I'm going to get them in the oven, and when I come back, you're going to see the finished product, because then that'll be it. It says cook 9 to 11 minutes. I'm going to choose the 11 minutes, because, you know, you got to take them out, then you got to let them cool, of course, because otherwise it's just going to be a gooey mess. And then, after that, cookies. Alright, so, stay tuned. I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and cookies are out of the oven. Cooled off a bit, so it should be okay to eat, but I've learned 2 things. One, in my oven, the ones, basically it's like I have 2, like racks in my oven. If I put, the 2, I have basically 4 baking trays filled with like cookies. So the ones on the bottom rack, the bottom got a little bit burnt, like that. But the ones on the top came out like that, on the top. So, well, I mean on the bottom. Thankfully, none of them stuck. None of them stuck to the pans. However, one thing I did think I learned on the other thing I learned is I think I need to use the mixer a little bit longer because there was a lot of bit of ingredients. I'm not even going to say dough because it wasn't really mixed together much. There's a lot of ingredients left on the bottom of the bowl. I did wind up throwing some of it away because I just couldn't get it to stick together. I put in a couple of more in the oven, basically I had to use my hands and pack it together as if I was making a snowball. So that's, that's what that, so those are the two things that I learned. But anyway, look at that. Look at that. I'm going to have this with some tea later. Anyway, well, this is having a contrast. Still good. Still good. So, I'll finish those in a little bit. Thank you for watching. If anybody needed to know how to make cookies, I hope this was helpful. And just know that, all this stuff, it's easy to get in any supermarket. I mean, the only thing I wasn't able to find that I wanted to add to this was I wanted to have chocolate and peanut butter morsels. But I could not find the peanut butter ones. I just could not find them at all. Or at least nothing with peanut butter alone, because I already had a lot of chocolate morsels. They had one mixed with chocolate, and I was like, but I already have a lot of chocolate, so I didn't get it. But anyway, everything else is easy to get. Just look up cookie recipes online. It'll bring you to any amount of sites for that. Some you have to pay for, so you just got to watch out for that. Some you can see, you can view for free, and just do what I did. Just take a screenshot of it, and then you could use it. Again, I'm not going to tell you where I found mine, because I don't want to get in trouble in case the company's like, I don't know if they require you to pay for it, so I'm not going to say anything. But basically, making cookies is pretty straightforward. You just basically have to know the step-by-step. All right, so anyway, thank you again for watching. I hope you found this helpful. All of you out there, you have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and share as much as possible. And, I'm up to 54 subscribers. I'd like to make it to 75 relatively soon. So want the channel to grow. Please go to Tabletop Jones Productions. We are actually getting ready to post more videos up there. Please do the same over there. Like, subscribe, and share. And for those of you who haven't yet, please check out my Patreon. A lot of these videos are going to be on Patreon as free content. I will have exclusive content there. It is up to you. It is a membership site, so it's up to you if you want to become a member in order to view that. But still still hit me up on Patreon, even if you're just going to watch the free stuff. Although I prefer you become a member. All right. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you again. Take care of yourselves.